Hey, thanks for coming to 1500ESPN.com. I'm Derek Whitmore. I'm going to share with you my 5 thoughts from Monday's Twins-White Sox game. The Twins won in a laugher, 13-2. Not a very well-played game for the White Sox, but the Twins, on the other hand, actually played pretty good baseball on Monday. Start with thought number 1. Byron Buxton moved to the top of the lineup for the first time in his young career after a week of batting ninth. Byron Buxton found himself in the leadoff spot in the order. Had a good game, too. He had a double in the first inning to lead off the game, and that's kind of the hit I want to focus on, although he did have 2 more base hits later in the game. The double was kind of surprising because he lifted a ball to the right center field gap and just rounded first base without hesitation. The right fielder cut it off, threw it into second, made it kind of a bang-bang play, but with Buxton's speed, pretty tough to get him, even when you cut that ball off in the gap. He really impacted the game with his speed quite a bit on Monday. I'll get to more, but just one other quick base hit. I mean, there's a runner on first. He hits a routine ground ball to the shortstop, Alexi Ramirez. Alexi charges it, throws on to first base. No chance. Buxton beat out the infield single on what appeared to be basically a routine grounder. That is going to be one of the reasons that Buxton is able to impact games, even if he's not able to rack up 3 hits every night. The speed, the outfield range, the arm. I'll get into more of this later, but impactful game for Byron Buxton for I think the first time in his major league career, and it started with that shift to the top of the lineup. If you're watching this on Tuesday, I would not expect to see Buxton batting leadoff Tuesday. Paul Molitor said before the game that it had to do with matchups. He liked Buxton's at-bats against left-handers. John Danks, who started Monday's game and was bad for the White Sox, presented a better matchup for Byron Buxton. Tuesday it'll be Jeff Samardzija. I'd be surprised if we saw Byron Buxton at the top of the lineup, although Paul Molitor did not out-and-out rule that possibility out on Monday after the game. Thought number 2, the Twins had a 5-run 4th inning. They later followed with a 5-run 6th inning. That obviously was the difference in the game, but the 4th inning was really the one that put them in the driver's seat against Danks and the White Sox. Joe Mauer hit a home run to the opposite field. He continues to hit the ball well to left. Eduardo Nunez had a 2-run homer as well. He's been a surprisingly good bench bat for the Twins, and now he's kind of found himself in a starting role at mostly playing shortstop. I don't know how long it'll continue for Nunez. This is quite a bit better than his career average would suggest, but a very impressive start to the season for Nunez. He entered Monday with more extra base hits, 12, than he has singles, 10. Go figure. I can't figure it out. The Twins are happy to take that production right now, though, and Nunez came up for big again for them on Monday. Other players with home runs, Kenny Vargas, who I'll get into in a second, and Brian Dozier, not to short anybody. The Twins had 4 home runs Monday, and that's a season high. Thought number 3, after struggling for the majority of the season, Kenny Vargas had a really big night for the Twins. 4 hits, included a 3-run home run and 3 singles. The home run was huge. It was an absolute bomb. I think they said 425, if I remember correctly. 425 feet out to left center field in the second deck out there. And it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. The other thing that I kind of took from Vargas' game, not only is not how far that ball traveled or the exit velocity or any of that stuff, but the way he was able to stay back on pitches. I know that's kind of like a weird takeaway. The guy has 4 hits. He has a big home run after he'd been slumping, and the general takeaway is probably like, okay, here we go. Maybe he gets heating up. And I think there could be some validity to that, but I don't think that because of the results. I think it because of the process. Kenny Vargas hit a fastball in his last at-bat, but his other 3 hits were all against off-speed pitching. He hit a curveball and I think 2 changeups, and Vargas, who we've seen get out on his front foot from both sides of the plate, really have some uncomfortable, unbalanced swings in the past, 2 weeks, whatever it's been, the time frame, and really struggled a lot with some of that stuff, expanding the strike zone, swinging and missing at a ton of pitches. He's had a difficult year at the plate. On Monday, he was able to just keep his weight back, stay balanced, whether it was an off-speed pitch or a curveball, just go wherever it's pitched. He hit a couple of line drives and then obviously the big blast. Very good sign of a game for Kenny Vargas, and just one day after Phil Mackey and I ripped him on the Touch 'Em All podcast, which you can still listen to on iTunes, but we may have been wrong about the point that Vargas might not be ready to be the DH for the Twins right now. He certainly had a great game on Monday and was a big reason the Twins' offense broke out. Thought number 4, Byron Buxton made his presence known in the field, not just at the plate. He threw out a runner at home plate, Melky Cabrera, trying to score from second base on a single to center field. Buxton came up firing. If you remember a couple of games ago, Buxton overthrew the cutoff man, overthrew the catcher, and that allowed a runner to advance from first to second on the throw. A little bit of a mental mistake from the rookie. That apparently didn't impact him on Monday. He was just able, he came up firing on the ball hit. I think it was Gordon Beckham, but I'd have to check my scorecard. Where was it? Yeah, Buxton in the third inning threw out, as I mentioned, Melky Cabrera. It was a single by, I stand corrected, it was Alexi Ramirez hit a single. And Melky Cabrera was trying to come around, score from second base. Buxton came up, threw a dart, nailed him at the plate. It got the Twins out of the inning. The White Sox had scored 2 runs already that inning. They were threatening to score more, and Buxton cut it off. He stopped that rally almost single-handedly. I talked to starting pitcher Tommy Milone after the game, who said that was just a huge momentum swing for the Twins as the White Sox were kind of chipping away. Milone was struggling to get out of the inning. He just couldn't get that third out, and then Buxton came up big for him. Big play for Buxton. He's making his presence felt, not only at the plate, but certainly in the field as well. Thought number 5, there's a heads-up play from Tommy Milone. I'll go quickly because we're running out of time on this video, but a little blooper out to center field, and both middle infielders, because they knew Buxton wouldn't be able to get to it. It was too shallow. They both chased it back, both Eduardo Nunez and Brian Dozier. Dozier reached for it, just glanced off his glove. And this was Gordon Beckham. That's why I had Beckham in my head. I knew there was a reason. He rounds first base because he sees, hey, there's nobody at second base. Since that ball dropped, he thought he maybe had a good chance to go get second. Tommy Milone, the heads-up play from the mound, sees that there's nobody standing at second base, takes off, wins the foot race to second base, catches the throw from Byron Buxton, slaps the tag down on Gordon Beckham and gets the out. Heads-up play from Tommy Milone after second base was basically left wide open. That'll do it for this 5 Thoughts video. As always, I appreciate you coming to the website, 1500ESPN.com. Head over to the website, check out my 5 Thoughts column, and as I mentioned, check out our latest Touch 'Em All podcast, or you can just find that on iTunes. Go to iTunes, under podcasts, subscribe to the Touch 'Em All podcast, and we'll send you a new one every Sunday night. Phil Mackey and I record a podcast talking about the Twins, Major League Baseball, breaking down kind of a stats perspective, but we like to just keep the conversation loose. So I think if you enjoy these videos, if you enjoy my 5 Thoughts columns, I definitely think you would enjoy the podcast. They're a ton of fun to record. I hope you guys have fun listening to them. That'll do it for this video. Until next time, I'm Derek Wetmore. See you later.